How's it going, y'all? So in this video, I figured I'd bring y'all some updates. This has been about 3 or 4 weeks since my last video, talking about some recent additions and adjustments I've made to my Tonic Herb Elixir stack. And I'll also let y'all know some of the projects I'm working on and my goals moving forward, especially in 2025. I'm just going to let it all kind of fly out there, but I'm going to try my best to stay on topic. Let me know in the comments right now if y'all like me just going on random tangents. Let me know if you like me going on random rambles and rants, okay? Because every time I make a video, I have a subject in mind, and my mind just goes way off the rails, and I'll just record an hour or two of me just ranting about different subjects and then constantly trying to bring my mind back to the subject and going off, okay? And I just don't post it because I'm like, well, I started off saying I'm going to make a video about my Tonic Herb Elixir. Next thing you know, I'm talking about society and how men are a bunch of, weak, impotent crybabies and all this other crap. And society's sick and brainwashed and weak and there's no hope. But then again, there could be hope and blah, blah, blah. So let me know first in the comments right now. Do y'all want to hear my videos where I just go on rants? Y'all want me to post them anyway? Let me know in the comments, okay? Because I will start posting them if people tell me that they love hearing my rants. Because I get people telling me they want me to post them. So I have a feeling people actually subscribe to me because I go crazy with my thoughts, okay? I have 149 IQ. That's a lot of freaking brain power to work with. So my brain is always simultaneously focusing on 5 different subjects at once. So anyway, my Tonic Herb Elixir. So as many of y'all know, so the base of my stack, I've been taking the same kind of mix of ginseng and cordyceps since April or May of 2023. So my last tournament, right after my last tournament, it was like, I think May 1st or something, I started taking a whole ginseng root powder, red Panax ginseng and American ginseng, just the raw powder, because ginseng extracts are very hard to find to tell if they're fake or not. I have tried dozens of different ginseng extract products, and I've only found one that actually gives me ginseng effects, okay, which means increase in sex drive, like rock hard erections, increase in motivation, increase in immunity and obliterating infections and stuff, and focus and mood and all the amazing benefits that you would expect from a potent like red ginseng extract. I've only found one out of dozens of samples I've tried. And that's including some private extracts that no one else had tried on the market, because I happen to be really good friends with CEOs of certain herb companies. They'll sometimes give me their products to try. And that one was actually good, but it was actually a rare ginseng product you can't find anywhere else. That we had an agreement that I can't talk about it. So, and that was quite a while ago, and he still hasn't released it. But that one was good. Very good, but just not. It had more of a holistic, life-transforming, spiritual, subtle, calming effect rather than like the energetic, stimulating effect that most ginsengs have. Anyway, so right now it's a whole tablespoon of red Panax ginseng, a whole tablespoon of American Panax ginseng. Wait, not Panax. One whole teaspoon of Panax red ginseng, 1 whole teaspoon of American ginseng, raw root powder, blended and extracted in hot water. Blended. You have to blend a lot of hot water. I'm talking like 32 ounces of piping hot coffee or hot water in a glass blender with the ginseng, and blend that shit for a minimum of 2 minutes, but try to go 3 minutes straight of blending in the hot water. The reason why you want to do it this way is because traditionally these roots, okay, especially ginseng root, will not be potent enough. You won't be extracting the ingredients, the ginsenoside saponins, unless you brew them in simmering water for like a whole 24 hours straight, okay? The thing is, you can shortcut that by getting a really finely ground powder so that there's more surface area, and then putting it in a large volume of hot water, and you blend it, okay? And you'll know that you're extracting the saponins because it'll foam up like soap. So saponins, the ginsenosides, the active compounds of ginseng and other herbs, they'll foam up like soap because they have soap-like properties, which is why in research they assume it helps to mop up like LDL particles and shit like that, or fatty particles like cholesterol. But that is kind of far-fetched bullshit. But anyway, so you'll know that it's working if you see it foam up like a latte, okay? Which happens to make it very delicious, by the way. It's probably my favorite part of the day is drinking my ginseng and jamming music and playing arena shooters and ninja games. It's quite the experience, sipping on some ginseng, like literally sipping on that damn foamy ginseng, listening to some chopped and screwed hip hop, lyrics about money and grinding gets me in the mood for the day. Hearing these Texas rappers that became millionaires independently, just selling mixtapes in Texas, talk about grinding and making money and hustling, while I'm jumping from wall to wall in like Unreal Tournament 2004 playing arena shooters. It really is quite the vibe. I just love it. I've been doing that for like over 2 years now with my tonic herb coffee. That's amazing. Or listening to death metal and deathcore and playing Ninja Gaiden and just chopping demons' heads off and shit. That's fun too. Anyway, or playing Doom. I love Doom. So on top of the ginseng, half a teaspoon of cordyceps, Hyperion herbs, best herb company on the market. And then 800 milligrams of Mucuna pruriens extract. It's a 40% Mucuna extract. I'm taking NutriCost Mucuna 40% L-Dopa. But you got to be careful. You got to make sure it's the white powdered extract of Mucuna and that it is indeed a 40% L-Dopa extract, because NutriCost in the past have changed their formula on me, where it used to be an extract and then the same listing on Amazon, the same product arrived and it wasn't an extract anymore. It was a raw powder. So you got to be careful. But yes, I take 40% L-Dopa Mucuna pruriens extract, 800 milligrams. And then a Korean red ginseng extract on top of that. I take approximately 2 500 milligram capsules. So that's about 1 gram of Korean red ginseng extract. I'm not going to say the product I take because it's always sold out. So there's a very high demand and low supply of it. And it is the only ginseng product I've found, the only extract on the market that actually works. So I'm not going to say it, but trust me when I say you will get the same results. You'll get amazing results just taking a high potency, raw red Panax ginseng extract like I do. If you just take the basic stack without the Korean extract, you will absolutely feel amazing. All of my clients and everyone who's actually blended the ginseng properly, because I've had people who are stubborn and weird, where I tell them over and over again, you have to blend it in hot water. And then weeks will go by and they're like, oh yeah, I'm totally feeling it, bro. And then I'm like, oh yeah, how are you consuming it exactly? They're like, oh, I just take a teaspoon of the raw powder, bro, but I still feel it. I'm like, bitch, you've never felt the ginseng if you think you feel it eating raw powder. Okay? Even if you do digest ginseng well, because some people will chew on ginseng, you know what I mean, and get it takes so long to digest, you're not going to feel it right away. So people get nocebo effects because if you have actually blended the ginseng properly, because it's I've had so many clients tell me that they use this blending spoon thing, a frother. That's not good enough. That's not going to work. And then when I have them switch from the frother to doing the whole glass blender with like 30 ounces of hot water, they're like, oh my God, it's like a 9-day difference. I can't believe how fooled I was thinking I was filling it with the frother or the raw powder. So yeah, I can't overemphasize that enough. Just the amount of ridiculous, people, this is what, I'll tell people, hey, you've got to take it this way, and you've got to be careful about the extract you're taking. People go on Amazon, buy a cheap brand that is probably fake, and then they'll take it and they won't blend it properly, they won't brew it properly, and then they wonder why it doesn't work, or they'll be like, oh, it does work, haha, and it's like not even real shit. So yeah, that's humans, right? I don't think you should need to have 149 IQ like me in order to like just do some basic shit right. Like, especially when I tell you over and over again, but it's just it is what it is. But all right, so something I've done recently, I've added guarana. So I take about, I think, 800 milligrams of a 4-to-1 guarana extract by, I think it's by Source Naturals. And then I take holy basil. I've added holy basil to my stack. And that's the biggest thing I've changed. The holy basil, man. And I have a whole video that I'm going to be releasing after this one, talking about the benefits of holy basil and then also the significant negative effects that it's had as well. Okay, and people are going to freak out about the negative effect because my channel, the most viral videos on my channel, my number one video of all time, believe it or not, it's called Erectile Dysfunction is a Joke. How to solve your erectile dysfunction and have a bulletproof sex drive or some shit like that. But yeah, the whole video is just about how to have an amazing sex drive and cure erectile dysfunction and all this stuff, talking about herbs and no fap and no porn and shit like that. And I get a lot of messages from people from that video on my social media asking me to make more about sex drive and make more about testosterone and dating and shit like that. That's one of the things that I talk about my holy basil experiment. There is a negative effect on sex drive, but it's actually a positive effect. So definitely watch my video talking about holy basil. But guys will be going crazy. You know, I'll be like, oh yeah, holy basil's completely changed my life, and it's done all these badass things. Strength has gone up, life transformed. I'm way more productive. I'm actually like, you know, making way more money, blah, 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 thanks to holy basil. But it numbs my sex drive and makes me think less about sex and blah, blah, blah. And guys will go crazy. Like, what? You're telling me holy basil is going to feminize me? Oh, that's horrible. Oh, my God. Blah, going crazy. And then telling me that I need to be aware, be scared and all this shit. I'm like, bro, well, chill the fuck out, bro. People care way too much about jacking off. You know what I'm saying? Like, the messages I've gotten in my freaking social media DMs from guys that are scared of like losing their erections is insane. Like, why? Oh my God. Right? People take reishi mushroom or lion's mane, and then, you know, they'll see a Reddit thread from like a random anonymous stranger who says that they found like a study done in a test tube that identified compounds in like mushroom extracts that can like lower DHT and potentially like increase free testosterone, but make them like lower their sex drive or some shit. And then they go crazy thinking that they're going to be like turn into a woman or get bitch tits, you know, gynecomastia. Anyway, yeah, humans are crazy, man. Like, I'm so happy that I don't have to deal with that anymore. All right. Well, like, deal with that as in like my profession revolving around like babysitting people who can't take care of their own health. So anyway, let me move on and stay on topic here. Man, what the fuck? So yeah, there will be a video talking about the significant benefits of holy basil as well as some of the negative effects. But yes, so I've been taking holy basil. I've been taking this one here. And if you want to hear the details on these extracts, wait for that video on the benefits and negative effects of holy basil. I've taken holy basil before. 2013 was the first time I tried taking it, but I started taking it consistently 2014, like late 2014 to early 2015, and it completely changed my life on a deep kind of what people would consider spiritual level. I don't like that word spiritual. Most people use the word spiritual in a very floaty way, but I mean it in a very tangible, amazing way that can be measured. Holy basil is a very life-transforming effect. So I'll make a video talking about that. Big thing, though, is holy basil has definitely improved my strength in the gym. And everyone who knows me knows I'm like the cockiest and most confident person they probably ever met. But holy basil definitely has amplified that even more, because I just feel so much more nonchalant. Any kind of skepticism I might have about, my own, like, just doubts, self-doubts, worries, anxieties, it's not necessarily that they go away, but it's that I can choose to entertain them or not. I'm a lot more in control of my doubts and insecurities, I guess, or my worries or whatever, and I'm able to let them go. Like, they don't matter. That's what Holy Basil does. It's increased my feelings of not give a fuckness, but not in a way to where you're apathetic. So if you've ever taken ashwagandha, you know that increases your feelings of apathy, to where it's not that like you don't give a fuck in a logical way. Ashwagandha just removes your ability to have any ambition or care at all. It's pretty bad. I guess kind of what weed or marijuana would do for a lot of people, but Holy Basil isn't like that. Holy Basil is more of like you see your worries through a logical and intentional lens, right? But yeah, I'm able to just let go of doubts and worries. So like, if I want to go and talk to someone, in public that I've, like a really whatever, I just do it, and it's nothing, right? It's a lot easier for me to be enthusiastic. It's a lot more for me to be social and happy. So if you're in a sales job, Holy Basil, absolutely. You will be selling personal training or whatever it is that you sell like crazy, because you're a lot less attached to the outcome. You go and talk to people without any worries at all, without any fear of rejection or anything of that nature. So Holy Basil's badass. So yeah. It's made my brain power more efficient. It's taken my 149 IQ and allowed me to efficiently apply it to things that actually matter. So normally my brain is like a freaking tornado with all different thoughts going on at the same time. And it takes a lot of energy and effort to focus my mental energy on one thing. Taking Holy Basil, it takes the top 3 most important thoughts that I have at the moment, and then streamlines it into a very powerful gust of wind, right? Not a gust of wind, but like a breeze. But that breeze is like dense, like a water hose, right? So instead of like a hurricane, you've got like one really large anaconda. No, I'm not talking about that anaconda, you perv. And it freaking is just like a giant anaconda-size water hose of water filling through that water hose, and just stream of productive thoughts. So it's like an efficient, erect anaconda-size water hose of my potent mental energy. Ha! Serious though. No pun intended. All right. So anyway, so here's what I'll say though. Watch that video that I talk about on the benefits and negative effects of Holy Basil. There are some negative effects that Holy Basil has given me. And I think the benefits far outweigh the cons. And I think it's definitely improved my energy, while also improving my nonchalantness and kind of like anti-anxiety at the same time. So it's amazing. You get kind of like this boost, this benefit of clean energy, mental energy, and physical energy too, but at the same time removing the stress, cortisol, adrenaline thing. So it's like adrenaline without the adrenaline. It's crazy, man. It's amazing. It's like, I guess, like L-theanine and caffeine kind of stack, right? And I would recommend, if you're going to take Holy Basil during the day, do it with a ginseng. So that's the other thing is, it definitely does not help with sleep. That's what I'll say. It's not a sedative, even though I've mentioned in the past it might be. So that's why I take it during the day now. All right. So I'm taking a new version of Holy Basil starting today, actually, the Nature's Way. And I'm going to take this today and maybe tomorrow. And so I'm going to stop the holy basil for a while. I'm going to actually, believe it or not, this is the opposite of effect. I'm going to actually add a tea. I'm going to take away the holy basil and replace it with maca root. So I'm going to start to do a maca experiment. It's going to be gelatinized maca. It's going to be a teaspoon of maca root, and I'm going to blend it in my hot coffee. So for those who don't know, if you brew maca in hot water, gelatinized maca, okay? Don't take the raw maca, take gelatinized. And yes, just a normal kind of like yellow maca, most likely. Or a blend. I don't know if it's a blend of different colors. But just whatever gelatinized maca you can find in the grocery store. It might not say what color it is. The black or the red or the purple maca. It doesn't matter. Yellow maca works just fine. It always has. Brew it in some water. You will freaking feel that shit right away. Most likely. It will be way more potent. So I'm going to be adding a whole teaspoon of maca. I'm going to take that with my ginseng every single day. And I'm going to and I'm going to see how that improves my sports performance, and it's going to definitely improve my sex drive. Every time I've taken maca, so the only time I've ever gotten a girl pregnant, okay? We were both taking maca at the same time, and it just took one freaking sexual encounter for us to get a baby. Now, I'm not gonna say too much about that. However, we at that time were absolutely not ready to be parents, and we are not parents. Okay, but yes, there was a fertility boosting effect. Maca is very well known for, so as I mentioned before in other videos, I can sploosh 8 times in 4 hours. Wait, 8 times in 2 hours. I can sploosh 8 times. I have splooshed on a regular basis 8 times in 2 hours, and I've been told by females that is crazy. Girls that I've been with have been very, very surprised with the amount, the refractory period, first of all. The fact that I can go hardcore and get them to climax, and then I have the craziest sploosh that they've ever seen splooshed. And they're like, holy crap, how the fuck can you sploosh that much? And then you are recovered and ready to go in 8 minutes. I'm like, well, first, baby girl, you're the sexiest girl I've seen in a month or so. You know what I mean? You were so beautiful. I'm exaggerating, okay, y'all. I only talk to a girl once every 4 years. Okay, keep that in mind. I am celibate and I am a virgin. Keep that in mind. But anyway, as I was saying, they're like, holy shit, and you're ready to go in eight minutes or whatever. And then, a whole hour goes by. How the fuck did you just sploosh 5 times in an hour? And every time your recovery period is 8 to 15 minutes, 20 minutes tops. Okay. After you sploosh 4 times, it obviously can be a struggle, but especially with the right girl, 20 minutes, oh, that ain't shit as of a refractory period. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Anyway, my refractory period is crazy, and the volume of splooshing is crazy. The amount of times that I can sploosh, provided it's with the right girl. Okay, and I have a very specific type of girl that I only prefer to be with. You know what I mean? And so that's probably why, because I only have, I only do that type of thing. I only get involved with girls that I'm really, really into. So that's probably why I'm able to swoosh so much as well. Whereas most guys, they get scraps and girls that they're not really attracted to or whatever. I only get with girls I'm absolutely attracted to. So that's probably why I'm so aroused. But what was I saying? What was I even talking about? Yeah, the maca root, man. That's without maca. If you start taking maca, oh my goodness, it's crazy. So anyway, that leads me to the next subject, is kind of like the other projects I want to work on, right? So if you take maca root on top of the ginseng root, on top of knowing all the other secrets that I know about sex drive. So maca root will absolutely make you sploosh volumes, and it will also improve fertility. There are women that are on record, there are countless anecdotal reports, case reports, and also studies showing. So females went from being diagnosed as infertile and having hormonal imbalances that make it extremely unlikely for them to conceive children, and they go from being infertile to suddenly conceiving a child in a matter of 2 months or less, having positive pregnancy tests, taking maca root. Okay. And women with imbalanced periods, provided they take maca root long enough, because some women, they'll have imbalanced periods and they'll take maca root, and it might unbalance their periods even more for a short period of time, but they stop taking it after like the first month because suddenly their period is late, and they're like, oh my god, this is crazy, I can't believe it, maca root healed. Maca root solved my hot flashes and my other negative side effects, but it seemed to make my period even more crazy or whatever. And then they think it's a problem. They quit taking it, not realizing maca works for over the long term to balance your hormones after several months. So you've got to know enough about how herbs are supposed to work and how to take them properly. You can't just freak out, and give up because something unexpected happened from your already unexpected hormonal imbalances and problems, Anyway, so yeah, and then not only for the female aspect, because, women who, let's say, have very dry, it's dry down there, they have dryness, and they're, maybe low libido, that happens, right? Taking maca root will actually improve that a lot. It will actually increase the wetness and stuff and increase their sex drive and stuff. So interestingly, I've had some really, really good friends that I knew that used to do like cam stuff, right? And they had their own cam business, right? They were just friends. It was like a long time ago. And they were really, really good girls, by the way, but they just did they had a cam business because they were making a lot of money. I'm talking like $10,000 a month or more usually. And basically they found it really, really hard to have the sex drive that they needed in order to make the money they needed off the, desperate simps that would pay them all this money for what they did or whatever. And they insisted that maca root was a godsend to where they could literally do their cam business all freaking day and have no problems. And obviously it was still hard, because the guys actually turned them off, basically is what they would say. And so they took maca root to be stimulated as much as they needed to be. And they said it was like a godsend. So it's pretty crazy to me, and then there's all these anecdotal reports from guys saying, oh my God, I went from like not being able to have sex at all to suddenly being able to have like the most amazing sex of my life, and like guys with erectile dysfunction and guys that, just have terrible problems in that department. So many freaking people on Reddit and other forums and on YouTube, and then of course my own experiences, insisting that maca root is like a godsend for sex drive. So, and then fertility problems and stuff. So now the reason why I'm going to be taking maca is more so because my sex drive is already crazy. It's already badass, unless I take holy basil, because it really takes my thoughts away from sex and puts them on what I need to conquer in life. But maca root also improves my drive to train, my kind of masculine drive to conquer my goals. It improves my dopamine and my creativity. And also, I want to see, because I've been on the ginseng for so long, and my sex drive is pretty crazy as it is with my current stack, without the holy basil, obviously. I want to see what happens if I add maca to that. I have a feeling I am gonna have the, like, I don't even know, like, cause like I'm already like a freaking, like, it's like I'm like a sexual monster, like, in a good way. Obviously I'm in control of it, but like, if my erections and my sex drive is the way it is on ginseng and mucuna with cordyceps, I'm just wondering, adding maca, because alone, you take the right dose of the right type of maca taken properly for a long period of time, maca would consistently make my sex drive crazier than it is right now. So I'm wondering if I combine it. This is going to be some shit. So we'll see what the fuck happens, y'all. So I'm excited for this. So yeah, I'm going to be adding maca in a couple of days. And I want to see also if adding maca to my stack improves my jujitsu. Because generally speaking, when I take herbs that make my sex drive better, it makes my fighting skill better, right? Things that I've noticed improve my fighting skill are things that improve hunger, and then things that improve sex drive. The two, like, primal kind of warrior needs, right? And people, they might think that sounds crazy, but like, historically, the things that drive, masculine success, and I don't like using that term, like gender, the gender role thing, like masculine or whatever, but the things that drive, like, the desire to conquer and goals and gain success and accolades and respect and money and resources have typically been hunger and the desire to reproduce, right? The desire to acquire food, the desire to reproduce. And it's a visceral thing. Like, motivation, people say, is fleeting. Hunger can't be denied. So fasting, I've noticed, has dramatically improved my physical traits of wanting to fuck shit up. Even though I can eat and stuff, and people typically have no energy when they don't eat, but I've adapted to it. And horniness, like, I know it sounds crazy, but without a doubt, having a strong sex drive. And if you notice, all the Yang Jing herbs in Chinese medicine, they improve sex drive and they improve horniness, but they also improve motivation. So there is a strong correlation with that. Every single herb or substance that improves sex drive that I've taken has also improved motivation and energy to conquer my goals. And obviously dopamine and testosterone and prolactin antagonism are all interlinked with both sex drive and fertility, but also conquering goals, and motivation. So yeah, I'm interested in seeing what happens. But the only problem with maca is that even at low doses, especially taking ginseng, it increases my kind of anger, aggression, and stress and anxiety too much, where I feel like a physical cortisol feeling. And that can be very overwhelming. And the one thing I don't like feeling with any herbs or anything like that is that tangible feeling of cortisol in my body. I don't like feeling anger. I don't like feeling like this desire, like if someone cuts me off while I'm driving, I don't like that feeling like, oh, I gotta freaking get them back, that type of feeling. I don't like feeling attached to something. Like if one of my friends, does some crazy shit, you know what I mean? And he freaking, I don't know, randomly ghosts me out of nowhere, like he's some weird girl or something like that. I don't like that feeling of like constantly having residual thoughts of like, man, that motherfucker's a bitch boy. You know what I mean? And it kind of pisses me off that I can't explain to him why he's a moron. I don't like that feeling. I would rather just not care about situations like that. I don't want to care about some dude who decided to cut me off because he can't control his emotions. I don't want to care about like, some friend that I've known who randomly ghosts me out of nowhere, and all the life lessons I'd like to give him associated with that problem. I don't want to worry about that because it's not productive. It's not my problem anyway. He can do whatever. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, holy basil actually does that. It allows you to detach from all those. Whereas maca has a tendency to make you more Like, I gotta freaking show him, like, what you would expect roid rage to feel like. All right, so anyway, let's continue. By the way, the only reason why I'm wearing this Gold's Gym hat, if you can see it, is because my last update video, I got a comment from a really awesome friend, someone who I've known in person for a while, who thought that she could leave a comment cracking a little joke at my hat, basically kind of suggesting to stop promoting this company and to not wear this hat. So I purposely wore this hat just in spite of her, just because I think it's funny. I love when she tells me what to do and then I don't do it. And she thought I wouldn't know who it was. Oh, it's cute, right? That's so cute. But I'm glad that she's taking notes from someone who knows what the fuck he's talking about on YouTube. So yes, I'm wearing this hat in honor of you, young lady. And she's actually badass. She's actually one of the coolest girls I've met in a long time. Provided it actually is her. I asked her directly if it was her, and she said, she's like, oh, I don't know, hee. So I'm like, it probably is you then, you silly girl. Anyway, she's badass and awesome, if it is her. And extremely pretty. So, and badass, yeah. But crazy at the same time, which is cool. Nothing wrong with a little spiciness, right? So anyway, yeah, but I have actually ordered a badass new hat. So one of the things about me, and also, yeah, so I'm taking this off now. And by the way, I have a whole video talking about why I don't give a fuck that I'm bald. So some people might think, oh, why is he always wearing a hat? Really, it adds to my swagger and my style. But I went years without wearing a hat. I don't want to go too deep in this, but I'm just going to say the reason why I started shaving my head at all, because I was actually going through a period of time where I was purposely trying to regrow my hair. And it was working, but it's because I started naturally attracting girls that wanted to groom me. Because I did a stoic experiment. I don't want to go too deep. I'll make another, if you all want me to do a video talking about my stoic experiment that I did to detach myself from other people's opinions, let me know. But I did an experiment where I purposely stopped showering and shampooing and worrying about how I dressed for like 2 months straight. And next thing you know, I had 3 different girls that came to me. One of them was a client of mine. This is back in 2014. And they would naturally groom me, clean my house. And one of them started buying me shower supplies, like organic body wash and organic shampoo. And she's like, oh, you have this skin problem, and here, have this Japanese like skin cleanser thing. She was all hyped about it. And she was actually a professional hotel cleaner, and she made crazy money, like hundreds of dollars in one day with her mother cleaning houses together. So, and they come home with bank. And there was dated this girl for like 3 months, and she freaking paid me to stay with her. And I was actually working remotely at the time, so I could work from my smartphone at the time while I stayed with her, and she would pay for all my shit and buy me gifts and stuff because she made so much money. And she had a passive source of income that I don't want to say because people would negatively judge her for that. Anyway, and I'll never say specifics about. I don't ever want to put a girl on blast because that's their business, and that girl is crazy and has some problems and needs to, she doesn't need any problems. And also, I don't want, if I ever talk about girls on my damn videos, I don't ever want them to see a video and then like they blocked me or something. You know what I'm saying? I've had this happen many times before where I make a video and I kind of mention just a little bit of detail. They'll never say their name or anything like that, and then they'll unblock me after blocking me for years. And they'll be like, I saw that video, you mentioned me. Screw you, how could you? And leave me a whole essay, a bunch of paragraphs just because I mentioned them, like I didn't mention them. I mentioned something that happened and experienced without any identifying details. And they go crazy sending me a message. But anyway, where was I going with this? Yeah, so basically bald. I started going bald because these girls were telling me, like, oh, you would look so sexy if you shaved your head bald and grew out your beard, and like, I could trim your beard for you and stuff. And so eventually, I had a 5-year relationship with a girl who completely changed my whole perspective on females and my whole perspective on life. And I don't want to go into too much detail, but I went from like a stone cold, like money over girls type of thing, didn't give a fuck about girls, to suddenly getting with her and starting to realize, oh my God, like there are actually girls out there who are genuine and actually care and want to help support you spiritually and stuff. So I don't want to go into detail on that because she could be watching. That would be crazy. But I'm all paranoid. They're watching me. It's because of the shit that have happened. Girls show up to my house in the middle of the night. Like, what the hell? You freaking mentioned me in your video. Like, girl, what the fuck? Why are you still watching my videos? I hardly even make videos. How the fuck did you know I posted a video? I haven't you blocked me for like 3 years. This happened multiple times with multiple girls. That's why I don't make dating videos. Guys keep begging me in my DMs, to freaking make videos about dating and relationships and girls. But anyway. So anyway, I had a girl who finally did shave my head bald, and she would always like trim my beard and stuff, and did a great job, right? So when I shaved my head bald and I started growing out the beard, it was during a time when I had girls insisting I would look good bald. So it's funny to me. For health consultations, because I made videos about that and social anxiety and how to get over caring what people think, I actually had like 2 different guys request weekly consultations with me through Zoom because they were bald and they want to know how to get over their like attachment to it. And it's funny to me, man. You never heard of The Rock? You never heard of there's a lot of guys out there that girls love. What's the guy, Bruce Willis or whatever the fuck? So, yeah, being bald is not the end of the world. So, but yeah, I got a badass hat that's coming through. I mostly wear hats in order to increase the swag factor. So, I have a badass hat. It's a Morbid Angel hat. It's my favorite band in the world, and it's coming. But it's being imported from like China, so it's taking a long ass time. And I'm hoping that it's actually worth a damn when it arrives. It's going to be like 2 weeks, but yeah. Anyway, what matters more is not so much how you look or your hair or something. What matters is how you rock what you got. So I always keep that in mind. I hardly ever shave my hair or anything, or shave my freaking beard, because I'm an animal. I generally don't give a fuck. That's my personality. And I like fucking shit up. I like throwing weights around, eating meat, all that shit. I'm a savage animal. And so when people see my beard and shit, that's an extension of my personality. Even though I have 149 IQ and I'm civilized enough, I intentionally prefer not to be so civilized and correct. But people will know, oh shit, his persona matches his beard and whatever else, right? So, yeah. I generally try to focus on what matters. So anyway, I like to wear hats, and I like to wear clothes that represent something along the lines of my values. At least a Gold's Gym hat is somewhat reflective of the fact that I train, and doing my personal training at Gold's Gym actually played a significant role in improving my ability to talk to other humans and improving my sales ability. I'm an amazing salesperson now because of my experience there. So it's a reflection of a big piece of me, really, even though I don't work there anymore. But Elijah is a badass shirt. One of the best deathcore bands that have ever existed. If you don't know who Elijah is, oh my God. This was like a limited run. It was like there's only like 200 shirts made or some shit like that, and I got like one of the last ones. And there was also a limited edition Masochist album that had handwritten notes, and it was signed by the lead vocalist Zach Vargas of Elijah. There's only 1,000 made, and I got one of the very, very last copies. So I love Elijah, the band, and yeah, so I'm wearing that shirt, right? So yeah, that's kind of my thing. A lot of motherfuckers, they want to wear Versace or Gymshark or whatever, and I think that's funny. I dated like 3 different girls who were sponsored fitness influencers, and it's funny because their fucking Instagram is all just like booty pics and shit. Like it's just videos and of them, like of their butt, and and for me, I don't knock the hustle, but I had dated them, and actually some of them were like, one of them was really, really cool. The other 2 are kind of like, but they were making lots of money off that, right? One of them only had like 45,000 followers on their Instagram. Another one had 200,000 followers, and another one had like, I don't remember, like 90,000 or some shit. But yeah, they were sponsored by like Gymshark and shit. And I just thought it was crazy, like seeing their profit. Like they would show me the revenue they'd make. They have a little, one of those partner banks or whatever, hubs that shows the amount of money you make and how many freaking people use your discount code and shit. And it was astonishing to me how many fucking people, and a lot of them were dudes, right, that were buying Gymshark from their discount code. So, and then where it was coming from was like an Instagram full of booty pics. So I was just astonished at that. So anyway, and I've had friends where their whole dudes, their whole Instagram is just them posing in their fucking blank shirt with like a brand logo on it, and it's like just a color. Like, hell yeah, man, check out the drip. I'm like, bitch, I don't give a fuck about that drip. What I'm all about is more like authentic expression of who you are. So like I prefer function over form. Like I don't train to look good. I don't dress. I mean, I dress. I think I wake up and I fucking think I look good. And when my beard starts to look too scruffy, I'll freaking trim it. But I have noticed, because I've had a female client who's married, by the way. She's one of my favorite clients, actually, who would always be like, "Why don't you trim that beard? Oh my god!" and blah blah blah. But it's funny is, and I don't know what this is, if it's a coincidence or what, but I notice it's like the more homeless my beard starts to look, for some reason, the more girls will spontaneously come up to me and talk to me when I'm out in public. Like I remember my beard was scruffy as hell. And I had 3 girls approach me when I was out grocery shopping in 1 week. One of them was really crazy. I was in like a parking lot, and I was putting my groceries in my trunk, and some chick walked from like clear across the parking lot, like ran over. She's like, "Hey, excuse me." She's like, "Do I know you from somewhere? You look unmistakably familiar, and I saw you inside the freaking store." And it turns out I did know her, but she immediately was like, "Oh my god, we got to hang out sometime. Like, last time I saw you, I think you had your girlfriend," and it's true. Last time I had seen her, I don't want to say too much details. Let's just say she was drunk and it was at a music show, and I was at that music show with my girlfriend. Anyway, I was scruffy as fuck. So I feel like there was some magic associated with it. So, where was I going with that? Yeah, it's not how you dress, it's how you rock it. And also, and this is actually coming to the next subject I want to talk about anyway, is that I want to make videos, okay? Because I made a video on this subject with quite a while ago, actually. I had gotten 50,000 views in 1 month. That video was going viral. It was like a 2-hour-long video where I was ranting about how guys care way too much about their looks and their appearance. Guys care way too much about getting money, getting cars, and looking good to impress women. And what I was explaining in that video is the biggest point was I have had so many girls that were in love with me. And like I mentioned already, they want to trim my beard. They want to clean my house. They want to pay for dates. Multiple girls. It's not just one girl, okay? When I was at my lowest, okay, because I didn't know what I wanted in life. And I was not ready for a relationship at all because I didn't know what I wanted in my life. And you can't have a healthy relationship with a girl if you don't have a healthy relationship with your own life purpose, your own career, right? Anyway, earlier on in my life, in my teens and early 20s, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I had no money, and I was scruffy as fuck. I was the farthest away from what society and the mainstream would think is a 10 out of 10 as far as looks were concerned. But I had personality traits and then a certain edginess to me, and I had an ambition, a vision for what I wanted to create, right? Anyway, I don't want to go too deep into this, okay? But there are personality traits and kind of like life paradigms that matter way more and that girls care about. Basically, the video was saying that you don't need money to attract a woman, and most women don't care about money. And if you go out to the mall and you look at all the couples walking around, the majority of guys don't look anything special. They're kind of like, they got kind of dad bod, skinny fat, or they're just kind of fat. A lot of the females are decently looking. They might be like kind of slightly thick or whatever, but they got shape to them, you know, very sexually attractive, whatever, take care of themselves. A lot of guys are scruffy out there. They're just average looking dudes, but they can have, you know, they can get girlfriends with good looking girls just fine. And then also the average salary for where I live, at least, something like $40,000 a year or something. Like, and I can't begin to tell you how many people I've known, like clients of mine, friends, and family, where the girl makes substantially more money than the guy, yet they're happily married. And there are people that I've known that are for a long time. I know them very, very well. They suffer from a lot less relationship struggles than the average human, but yet the man's not the main breadwinner, you know, nothing special. The thing I'm trying to say, though, is in society, if you actually open your eyes, a lot of the stuff that guys cry about on the internet about, you know, girls only care about money, and if you want a good girl, you're going to have to pay for her and all this other shit, and also that you have to be like, you know, there's this narrative now going around that you have to be over 6 feet and you have to be super handsome and attractive. And it doesn't matter about your personality or, you know, how you talk to women or anything unless you're attractive. And all that matters is that you're attractive, or else girls won't speak to you or whatever. None of that shit's true. And basically in that fucking video, I just went to town for 2 hours straight talking about it. And the biggest thing is, I was explaining, it's not, females are not the problem. The problem is that you suck. That was actually the title of the video too. You suck with women, and here's why. It was basically what I said. It was the title. And the basic thing was, motherfucker, you got to get your life together. You need to get a conquest, process of mastery, have ambition and vision for your life, and then get your life to where you want it to be and start to live your life for your own ideal, right? And then when you talk to women, you need to be, you know, functioning from the kind of paradigm of, what do they have to offer me? And are we going to be able to have a good time together, right? And I don't want to get too deep into it, but like, you can't just, you know, whatever. Anyway, yeah, and I had it was 50,000 views on that video in a fucking month, and it was growing and growing, and I made hella ad revenue from that fucking video. And I got a freaking copyright, or I got a hate speech strike, okay, a red flag for hate speech on that video. I had comments from dudes, because I was I didn't even mention MGTOW or incel or anything like that. There were dudes from Red Pill, dudes from incel, MGTOW communities, and they were grilling me in the comments with pitchforks, making all weird assumptions. They were threatening me. They were telling me that they're sending my video to the top incel guru on the internet, and that they were going to make videos exposing me and debunking me and all this weird shit. And oh my God, I can't wait till, you know, incel guru 555 freaking lights you a new asshole. And and then I got the red flag or whatever, the strike, the YouTube guideline strike for hate speech, which almost certainly was simply because these freaking MGTOW incel red pill people didn't like what I was saying. I was saying, look, you need to take accountability for your fucking lack of success with women. There's a million girls out there, and if you can't get one that is good for you, there's something wrong with you as a human being. Get out of your mom's basement and just start to interact with humans as a human, right? Treat these girls like a human being, with intention, and you want to tease them and be playful and make them laugh and shit. But anyway, your problem's you're a crybaby bitch. The problem is not that women are bad. Anyway, I got a freaking I got a hate strike speech from them, and they probably fucking all massively reported me to YouTube and shit. So they were saying they were going to put a thread on Reddit and all this crazy shit. So immediately when I saw that, I was like, I don't need this drama in my life. So I had to freaking put that vid on private, and I had since deleted it. That was crazy. Or I think it's still on private. I'll go and check. But I was going through my videos, and I was going to just massively delete a bunch of them after that. It was crazy. So, but the good thing is I got a shit ton of new followers on my Instagram from that. And there's a bunch of dudes that keep fucking DMing me and messaging me, asking me to make videos on this subject. So I have so much to talk about. Subjects that are emotionally charged. Like, people will be going crazy about it. So let me know in the comments. Do you want me to make videos about this subject or not? Okay. I get commenters constantly requesting that I make a video talking about how to increase pheromones and how to increase female attraction with diet and herbs and stuff like that as well. I still get comments on my old videos about erectile dysfunction and shit, and then I have like 2 videos on dating and female relationships and stuff still up. So if you want me to make, and I get comments on that one, like, hey, blah, blah, blah. Lots of DMs and private messages. So, like, private messages on my Instagram up the wazoo. So people keep bugging me. My answer is always the same. Like, I don't know if I'm ready for that kind of drama. And I've always been scared of getting canceled by just, like, saying some real shit like that. And then, shit that people need to hear. And there's a bunch of pushback. So anyway, let me know if you want to make videos on that. But I'll say right now in this video, one of the most important things you can do in your life is to stop focusing on things that aren't in alignment with benefiting and improving your life goals, and start putting all of your energy into only subjects and art and discussions that will improve your life goals. So this is basically the thing here. So here's the projects and goals I'm working with for 2025, okay? So I want to start to kind of change the direction of my YouTube channel a little bit. And one of the subjects that I think I could become really successful in is giving some of this type of advice to people. More so esoteric life advice that you won't find from most mainstream people. And then a lot of these alternative people, like Red Pill and stupid shit like that, they're going way off the deep end, down like kind of like woo-woo bullshit nonsense as well. So I don't want to become a life advice channel. I don't want to become a self-help, self-improvement channel. I definitely do not want to become a dating advice, relationship advice, masculinity guru. I think that's weird and cringy. I think one of the biggest problems guys have with like girls and relationships and just life in general is they spend way too much time watching videos about life and watching videos about attracting girls, and not enough time actually out in the field, like living their life, talking to girls, getting friends, and just like being a social, hardworking human being. So I feel like making videos about girls and making videos about life and shit, I feel like it's kind of counterproductive and only contributing to the problem. It's always astonished me the amount of fucking YouTube channels that every video they have on their channel they have a new video every day about attracting girls, or about magical thinking and the law of assumption and Neville Goddard, right? Like The Secret, if you know what that is. Like, there's only so many videos and information that you really even need before you have enough knowledge to just take that first step and start to apply it. So, anyway, so I don't want to become a freaking YouTube channel on bullshit like that. It's so cringy. But I get a lot of fucking requests for videos like that. So maybe I will make some of those videos. I feel like, especially after that last video where I had like 50,000 views, like that was the most fastest viral video ever. And every video I've done, like I mentioned before, so I have my number one video, I don't know if it still is my number one video, had it had like 150,000 views last time I checked. Erectile dysfunction is a joke, okay? That one, number one video somehow. Even though I got all these videos about how to solve complex health problems, people want to know how to make their dick work better, right? Crazy. And then another video, the top 10 signs of high testosterone, right? Which is just about like, I don't know, whatever. That's another one of my biggest videos ever, is top 10 signs of high testosterone. People want to know how to improve testosterone and shit. And that's one of the most requested, the biggest questions I get is about testosterone, and guys freaking out about herbs ruining their testosterone and what herbs can they do to have a better sex drive. So guys really want to hear all that shit. It's insane. So it's clear there's a demand for it. And so I hardly make videos about that, yet those are the videos that do well. And there was a point in time where I was making videos about testosterone and shit, and I noticed every video about testosterone was a hit. I get the most interaction from that. So anyway, it's all stupid. It's so stupid, man. But it is what it is. So here's the thing. I think I could become a millionaire. This is something that has been popping in my mind. Is I could potentially become a millionaire if I made videos like that, and not intending to become a millionaire, but just making videos. So if anyone knows, there's like a YouTuber. His name was Elliot Hulse, right? And again, I think all that shit's really cringe, and he's one of the most cringiest motherfuckers on YouTube. But I used to watch his videos religiously in 2012 when I first started to experience my existential crisis. And his videos I thought were changing my life, but I actually feel like it was kind of just having a friend at the time that I could talk to about serious life things because no one else wanted to hear it. Anyway, that guy talked a lot about those subjects, and that motherfucker was one of the very first. He was a fitness YouTuber, started off as a personal trainer doing fitness YouTube, right? Exercise advice and stuff. But he kept getting comments and questions like I do now from like younger men who wanted like life guidance and stuff, right? On relationships and all this other stuff. And Elliot Hulse literally would just start the camera rolling and just give you raw videos with no script like I do, talking about those things, right? And he literally became one of the first fitness YouTube people to get like 1 million subscribers because of those videos. And he had a series called Yo Elliot, and I think he still does it. And there's a lot of YouTubers out there that are like that now who I don't want to name. And their whole thing is just talking about life and going on different tangents and shit, right? With no script. So the thing is, my videos, people always tell me my videos are full of substance, though. I'm talking about real things. People really do like these videos. And I have mostly lost my interest in talking about health. Now, at the same time, I think I've been regaining it lately because I'm just trying to, I'm trying to use my knowledge on health and nutrition and herbs in a way that's going to help people, but in a way that's also not getting too deep into the nuance and complex science that I was into for a while. Something I've posted on my Facebook and Instagram recently was that I've noticed, so I have 149 IQ, and if I just give in to my over-intellectualism, I'll go down these rabbit holes of science and philosophy and epistemology, And it almost feels like my thoughts are tangled up. And then I'll make these crazy videos about it sometimes. I've stopped doing that in the last couple of years. First of all, no one cares about that. Second of all, it's so much details and information given at once, because you need all this information to understand the whole topic. People don't even understand it when I make these videos. And I don't even want to spend effort on these videos making an outline, because I'm only making those videos to try to solve a problem, but a complex problem. So I've just lost interest in talking about those things. So trying to get my footing in, changing the direction of my YouTube towards things I actually give a fuck about and have fun talking about, and also give value to other people, right? Because clearly I have a lot of value to offer. The last 4 years where I was working as a personal trainer, the people that stayed with me as clients, a lot of them, I still have multiple clients, like 6 different clients that have been training with me since 2020 even. And they still come to me and train, you know what I mean? And stay in contact. Authentic value. And deep wisdom and knowledge on things that you can actually put into practice and apply yourself, so that I'm not full of shit. I think that's important. People know me as a motherfucker who just puts it out there, and I'm not trying to get money. I'm not trying to profit. I'm trying to just spread value, because it is what it is. And people love that shit. And they can sense that I don't have an ulterior motive, which coincidentally I'll have to make a video. That's also kind of something I mentioned in the other video on girls and shit, is that a lot of the problems guys have is that they have ulterior motives. So because they think that all girls want is their money, and all girls want is the most attractive man or whatever it is, right? Guys, because they're not emphasizing who they are as a human, so they have no intrinsic value to offer, authentic value. They try to compensate by giving money and stuff like that, and they're trying to sell themselves or whatever. And girls hate that, and so do men. I don't know if anyone's ever you ever have a friend who is just he's faking it and not really who he is, and you can't really place what it is about that motherfucker, but he repels you, right? Because he's trying too hard to be something he's not. I think that's really what it is, generally speaking. Anyway, so authentic value is something that's very, very attractive, and just an authentic personality as a whole. That's why people will watch someone like Elliot Hulse or Joe Rogan, or watch my videos. And there's quite a lot of other people out there too. And live streaming, people love live streams, right? It's funny to me, 4 years ago, I would get comments from people telling me, oh, just write an outline. You need an outline, or else you're never going to be successful on YouTube and shit like that, right? Meanwhile, a lot of those people were kind of low-grade YouTubers that never even got anywhere. But it's funny, because the one thing I always get that people like from what people like about my YouTube is that I do just spit all this information, and I just start talking, a stream of consciousness, unfiltered and stuff, and people like that and want to hear more of it. So, but yeah, 2025, I'm just lots of different streams of revenue. So here's my main things, right? So I have projects right now that I want to go into detail, passive income, and also kind of little businesses and stuff like that. And those are great. But then I also want to add multiple streams of income on top of that. One of them is, getting a really, really high level security job, just, to work during times where not a lot is going on. So overnight, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't really need a lot of sleep anyway. So training clients, only training specific type of clients, MMA fighters and stuff like that. But I still have regulars that always want to train with me. And so I'm well, they're highly demanding it. And so make a lot of money off of that, because me and my clients have great connection together. and they know that, and I've gotten them crazy results. So like losing 100 pounds in 10 months, really, no one else can do that. And their doctors were accusing them of being on illicit drugs, which is crazy. They felt so insulted. So, training, strength and conditioning, and then only select personal training clients during the day. Doing a really high echelon, high quality, private, top secret security job during the nighttime. That I don't want to go into detail on. You make really, really good money during hours where most people aren't doing shit anyway, right? So why not make more money, right? And then also I'm a sponsored jiu-jitsu athlete. Not a lot of people know that. And it's a real sponsorship. So I don't want to go into too many detail on that. But, but basically you get paid to compete in jiu-jitsu and stuff. And I haven't competed in a long time, mind you. But as long as I'm staying consistent with other things, and there's a couple things I do for this person sponsorship-wise that are part of the agreement, he continues to give me a pretty good compensation. And just because he wants us to do good for his community and stuff like that. But he specifically told me, because I was going to wear his organization on my shirt, that was the plan. But he specifically told me he doesn't want me to do any of that or anything like that. He just wants to do good for his community and see good things. So pretty amazing. And this was a client of mine, actually, for quite a while. And he has a debilitating disease that is potentially deadly, actually. I've been helping him for a long time. So he pays me for training. And also sponsors me. So I will be competing soon. And in fact, he had sponsored my last tournament. And the only reason I competed as a blue belt the last time, because I wasn't ready, I felt. But I still won gold, which is amazing. I was not expecting to win gold, but trained really, really hard for the last 2 weeks leading that competition. It paid off. The only reason I competed during that tournament was because I had a sponsorship by this guy. So that was cool. So that's the thing. So just continuing to compete as a sponsored athlete. And actually just going hard in the paint, Now that I'm not working for a commercial gym, which I didn't really need that job, you know what I mean? But I did it specifically because of my clients and the lessons I was learning, because I really love helping people and caring about people. But it took up all of my time to train jiu-jitsu, basically. So now I can just focus entirely on jiu-jitsu once I get my businesses and other career things into place. It's really hard to train jiu-jitsu. And see, a lot of people think, I have a 9-to-5 job. I can't compete jiu-jitsu. Look, motherfucker, try having like a regular commercial job and having all these businesses and projects. That's way difficult. So, but that's what I'm going to be doing. Making money overnight. Top secret private security. Right now I'm just trying to find the job that works best for me. And on top of that, training clients, only select clients and stuff. Occasionally people will request Zoom consults with me and stuff, but lately I've been narrowing down to only specific people and things, taking my time. And I got little projects I'm trying to bring into fruition this next year. So I think expanding my YouTube and kind of talking about subjects that I want to talk about, that I have expertise in, that a lot of people will listen to, I think is going to be the key. I have a lot of amazing ideas I want to bring forth, and also implementing into my other social media accounts as well. I have specific things I'm going to invest in. Things that a lot of people wouldn't think of as investments, right? My home gym, like I have posters and stuff hung up, but they're old and not really reflective of who I am. So I'm going to be adding a significant amount of personality, let's just put that, into the things I hang on my wall and stuff. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm ordering this custom-made Morbid Angel hat from a specific supplier, and I want to see how they do. And the thing is, I I buy official Morbid Angel merch too. I bought so much directly from the band, and I've even hang out with the band multiple times, or the guitarist, Triassic Tooth. I don't want to go into detail, but that guy's awesome. Hung out with him twice after 2 of their different shows. He's an amazing guy. So I do support the band directly and have been for years. But this is merch that they don't have, right? Merch that they don't have, like the type of stuff I'm trying to buy. So getting that custom. And it's also good for the band because wearing a Morbid Angel shirt around, wearing a Morbid Angel hat or whatever that you can't buy elsewhere is still promoting the band. And I tell people about the band everywhere I go. So it's helping Morbid Angel through other means. But anyway, buying posters and stuff like that are reflective of my personality. Once I get this hat, seeing if it does a good job, I'm going to get posters and stuff by the same company and put them up on my wall. And I'm going to get posters of me in competition, put them up on my wall. And posters of like my favorite athletes and stuff, put them up all over my wall. And it's completely redesigning my private dojo. And investing in that so I can have like a top tier kind of training facility for, teammates and friends, and kind of like I really want to create my own team eventually, but it's a lot of work to do. My biggest thing is I'm well aware of what I need to do, and I know how to train efficiently and effectively for this goal. Becoming successful on the circuit, on the competition circuit, so that people can see, oh, this guy actually knows what the fuck he's doing and knows what he's talking about. I don't really want to say too much because I don't like drama, but the fact is, a lot of people when I do train, they think just because I'm like a blue belt or whatever, I don't know how to properly get better at jiu-jitsu or something because I'm a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. Well, the thing is, not only have I studied studied learning and the process of skill development for a long time, I did full contact kickboxing for several years, okay? I've been doing martial arts and various other physical training attributes, martial arts training, full contact kickboxing, getting punched in the face, all that shit. It's literally the same brain circuits and process learning, okay? It's just a different skill. So I'm aware of how to develop a high level of skill. But when I train, higher level people, they get angry if I don't follow their every order or agree with everything they say or train exactly how they want me to train in that moment on that day. Like if I'm going to spar with someone and I'm like, hey, right now, can we just flow roll? Because I feel like we'll both get more out of it and learn more if we roll this way, or just do positional rolling. Let's just do pass, sweep, or submit from close guard. And they'll get angry at me and give me attitude, like, no, let's just go full on, because they know that what's going to happen is they're just going to smash me, and then they're going to tell me, oh, you're getting better at defending. And they're just going to hold me in a choke the whole time and put me in a, lay on top of me and side control in a position where it's impossible to get out. And then try to tell me, oh, this will help you learn how to defend or learn how to survive. And meanwhile, in my head, I'm like, motherfucker, I'm not trying to just get smashed. I'm trying to get better at smashing others, or at the very least getting better at like applying skill or applying escapes that I can't apply because you're just sitting there idle. No one's getting it better at doing this, right? And they get angry. There's like an ego thing. I'm like, I'm legitimately here to get better. And then people are like, oh, you can't just smash people. You won't get better, But I mostly roll with people of equal skill or people that are better than me that will give me, some skill improvement and stuff. But anyway, I don't want to go too deep into that. It's very easy to misunderstand what I'm saying. There's no hostility or ill will towards anyone, but from my end. But people don't like that I have an intention and I have a way I like to train. And I do compromise with people and stuff, but I'm not going to just go on a jiu-jitsu session where I've already trained hours and hours that day and the day before. People expect me to just be a regular hobbyist who is a regular blue belt that hasn't trained in other martial arts. I am a martial arts instructor. I literally teach people how to kickbox competitively. So to think that I don't know how to skill development just because it's jiu-jitsu is kind of funny. A lot of times these are like higher level belts that are out of shape and stuff though. And it's like, come on, man. Come on. And they haven't competed in years. Like, I'm trying to do some real shit here. I'm sorry. And they'll get angry because I'm like, because I have a basic skill set. I'm just always trying to improve on the basics and expand and make sure my basics are always kind of improving. And they're like, oh, you need to learn like this crazy like worm guard thing. And then they get mad at me if I don't want to spend a 5-minute round learning some new worm guard thing, some advanced technique from them or something. Like, oh, you never want to learn new stuff, Wolfgang. You're just always doing the same thing over and over again and blah, blah, blah. You're never that's not how you win tournaments. Meanwhile, you have someone like Roger Gracie, okay? And it's a normal example, even though people claim the reason why he's so good is because of his body type and his size and shit. Even though these same people will say size and strength doesn't matter. They'll say Roger Gracie only wins because of his size, right? It's all technique, bro. Well, technique for your body, obviously, but still, Roger Gracie literally has won every single freaking match with the same, cross choke, same sequence of moves and everything else, just applied differently and slowly evolved those basic moves over time. Okay? High level skill is just the basics applied at a high level. Okay? So people always tell me I need to learn new stuff and all this other stuff, and I can't just be doing the same thing over and over again. I think they're misinterpreting my intentional training as just laziness or just wanting to smash people. And it's very frustrating, honestly. It's very annoying. I don't know why I'm going this deep in this, but it is what it is. These have been stuff that's been on my mind. And then there are some really, really good instructors and teachers that recognize this, even though I don't see them very often. And then when they teach me something that they know is within my ability to apply. It's not a guard pass or a crazy thing that, Berimbolo freaking back take or some shit that I can't do and I won't do and I will never do. You should at least try or else you're never going to get good at jiu-jitsu, like whatever. A lot of these teachers, they'll teach me basic things on how to pass the guard or how to sweep properly or how to apply a better back take or how to pass a guard that I have trouble dealing with. I'm like, well, thank you. You're a really good teacher. You're the type of teacher that actually could make money outside of a commercial gym setting or whatever, because you're actually catering to the students' needs instead of trying to apply mass generalized principles to everyone instead of specializing and individualizing based on the person. So something I've noticed, a lot of teachers, they just want you to do what they say, and then if you ask questions about it, like you're suddenly a problem. And that's not a good way to run a skill or a martial art or whatever. As a personal trainer, it's important to see through people's kind of arguments and then calmly and empathetically like explain why what they need to follow your advice or whatever. But you know what I mean? Because especially me, if I'm wrong, I want you to pierce through my stubbornness or whatever it is, right? But at the same time, you've got to listen to my side of things too. Teachers, martial arts instructors are so used to dealing with students that the only martial art they've ever done is like jiu-jitsu or whatever, or Muay Thai or whatever it is you teach, but the only martial art you've ever done is the one that you're teaching, are not a teacher themselves, are not a personal trainer. I've been a personal trainer for like 12 years, and they try to say, oh, personal training is different. Not really, motherfucker. Recovering from training is recovering from training, and number one issue people have is crying about injuries and recovery from training. So smart training is important, and since I've been training other humans so long and teaching them recovery principles, don't you think I would know how to like manage training properly to recover? Like, oh, this is different and blah, blah, blah. So it's kind of like it's really an ego thing, in my opinion, even though some of these people might have been training longer than me, but still. And then the average person, they don't have the same kind of goals I have, the same intentions, whatever. So, and then that's the other thing is like these teachers won't even ask like, hey, have you trained today, or how many hours have you trained, or whatever else it is. They don't, even though some of them might know, but they're not aware of it in the moment. I might have already done 2 hours of jiu-jitsu earlier that day, or I might already have done strength and conditioning that day. So like doing some hardcore round with a scrappy blue belt of the same size or whatever might not be the best bang for anyone's buck of that day, right? Because they're going to be trying really, really hard to win a training round with me. And meanwhile, I'm like, shit, I did 2 rounds earlier with scrappy blue belts and my body's like going crazy. I would get much better bang for my buck rolling with like a calmer brown belt or someone more skilled than me at a lower intensity. You know what I mean? But no, they're like, no, you got to go hard every time and whatever else. Or I might not have trained for 2 weeks straight because I was working double overtime or some shit and not sleeping at all. And then anytime I'd have free time, it wasn't during the jiu-jitsu class hours. And then I get 1 hour to go train. And this teacher wants me to go balls to the wall with another scrappy blue belt or some shit like that, and who's going to purposely try to destroy me. And then the teacher will try to get me to get hard rounds every time. Like, go. The only way to improve is to walk through the fire and the flames. And meanwhile, my bro, I haven't slept in like 4 days straight. I haven't hit jiu-jitsu in forever. And the fact that I'm even here is a miracle, right? And they're like, yeah, well, those are all limiting beliefs and all this shit. And it's just the culture in some of these schools. And I know that's not the norm, but like people, they're like, oh, you want to be a world champion, huh? Well, you better freaking kill yourself to get there, is just not real. It's not real. It's not reality. That's not how the top people actually would train. That's not how top trainers or top coaches would train. And just when that type of attitude towards training and towards me as a human, you're like, oh, you crybaby, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a big advocate of toughening up, and I always tell people don't be a bitch. But it doesn't mean to just train belligerently, And sometimes I feel like it's like, they're like, oh, I'll show him. He thinks he can like be sponsored and not train as hard as I think he should or whatever. Sometimes I feel like it's a spite thing. Like, oh, I'll show him. And it's funny because like I don't want to get too deep in all this, but so these are things that have been going on in my head. But basically, despite all this crazy shit, the businesses I'm trying to run, the freaking projects I'm trying to do, and then another job I'm trying to get into play, and then like make YouTube videos about these things. You know what I'm saying? I got some really big things that I'm going to do. I want to swag out my private gym. I'm going to swag out my YouTube channel. And then also I got some other swagged out stuff I don't want to mention right now that people might think is kind of like not that great. But I'll be making videos with a certain element in it that I think is going to be great, or certain content or things. I've got a whole thing I want to employ. Something that I'll tell y'all right now, and this is kind of like the biggest epiphany I've had since I started personal training at a commercial gym. This is a thing. Independent personal training and health consultant for so long. The main reason I decided to become a commercial gym personal trainer on top of everything else I had going on in 2020 was because of all the lessons I knew I would learn. The thing about most humans and why they don't evolve their personality and everything else in their life success as much as I have, because I've changed so much and evolved so much, it's because they don't see life as an odyssey of self-improvement and spiritual development, whereas I do. So personal training for me was not about the money. It never was. Didn't need the money. I had all that shit fine from day one. It was because I knew I was going to change people's lives with all the information I've been giving to y'all on YouTube. And I was going to learn the lessons I needed on how to effectively reach as many people as possible and how to effectively apply my knowledge in a way that the average human can receive and understand. And one of the biggest lessons I've learned, going from being a shit salesperson and shit at maintaining clients in personal training at a commercial gym, to eventually having the highest closing rate and highest rate of results and being able to maintain more clients longer than any other person in any of these places, it is not due to having the right information. No one cares about how scientifically accurate anything is. No one cares about how politically correct or philosophically correct any information is. That's a fact. It's hard for dogmatic people to accept that they don't they don't buy into their beliefs because they are actually correct. No one wants to admit that. Everyone wants to assume, oh, what I do and what I follow is the real thing, and you all should follow it too. And if you don't believe what I believe, you're a moron and all this. Like, all that garbage is useless. Fact is, people follow the gurus that they follow because of their personality, their persona, the energy that they exude through their enthusiasm and through their vibe. And it's the way they package everything and the way that they sell it to you. That's how you buy into it, okay? Coming from someone who makes videos not with the purpose of making money, there's a reason why charlatans have millions of views, millions of subscribers on YouTube. And then people like Barbell Medicine, who I don't agree with everything they say. A lot of what they say I think is harmful to a certain degree. Their skepticism towards like meat-based diets and other things and calling them idiots and shit, I think that's just immature and short-sighted. But there's a reason, but they have great information and they only have like 50,000 subscribers on YouTube. There's a reason why really scientifically correct and really accurate information people don't have the kind of following that someone like Liver King or any of these other people have. And it's their persona. And it's rare to find someone who has both. So it's the way they package it. It's what a lot of people will call a gimmick, right? There's like an image or a theme or a gimmick associated with the image, with the information they're packaging. It's the package, right? So when you think of I don't know, let me think. When you think of like Bruce Lee, or when you think of Arnold Schwarzenegger, or when you think of any of these people like Rambo, when you think of Liver King, who's another one? Whoever it is that y'all follow, right? In health or nutrition or politics or whatever, there's a whole gimmick and theme associated with this person, right? Like the person, usually the image is very polarizing, and it's like a strong image, like whether either you hate him or you love him, but when you talk about him, you're emotionally charged about him, right? It's a larger than life type of image. It's something that I've recognized and realized that people buy in. And when I realized this and started to emphasize it, right? So I'm going to be real, right? And everything I do is authentic, but sometimes I might exaggerate certain parts of my personality and things to get my point into y'all, right? But YouTube, it's been less, but in training and sales, it's been more. But my whole thing when I am sitting down with a potential new client, that works almost every time, is I'm like, basically, what's up, y'all? What's up, sir? What's up, motherfucker? Basically, it's the energy, not exactly what I say word for word. What's up, motherfucker? So I'm Wolfgang. I'm Grandmaster Wolfgang. What exactly are your goals? Okay, well, listen to me. If you want to freaking lose, 100 pounds in 10 months, just like all my other clients, basically I can get you there. And if you freaking, jive with me 100% with my guidance, you will get there. Without me, you probably won't, and that's just the facts. I have clients on my social media, people with real, actual results that you can see. And these people you will talk to, they will tell you where 9-day difference. They came to me, 300 pounds, and now they're like 200, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? I had a guy who was like 150 pounds, want to gain muscle. He's like 200 pounds in like 9 months. His deadlift went from like 250 up to 400, And so the results are there. You know what I'm saying? And you're guaranteed to get results, but you better freaking put your best foot forward. I don't freaking sugarcoat nothing, blah, blah, blah. But the protocol is really simple too. Y'all, I don't want y'all tracking nothing. You're trying to lose weight. Here's what you do. Freaking eat steaks, lift weights, you know what I'm saying? Enjoy your workouts, go hard in the paint. Eat steaks, lift weights, go hard in the paint, become a motherfucking tank. That like literally the swag I put on things is what really gets people excited about it, right? And I throw a package on there. And you know what I'm saying? And your demographic matters. Like, I had a lot of military and ex-martial artists and stuff. And so, I had one client, I had a lot of clients like this. I don't want to give too many details. Like, a 50 or 60-year-old man used to be in a really, like, hardcore part of the military. It's really easy to kind of, like, get that guy motivated about you call it my shtick, which is the real me, I'm like, oh, shoot, you know what I'm saying? Like, 60 years old ain't shit. Age ain't a number. You know what I'm saying? Age don't fucking matter. 60 years old, my ass. I'm going to get you in better shape than most of the freaking 20-year-olds. And interestingly, this person I'm talking about, I literally got him in better shape than all the 20-year-olds. That guy went from deadlifting 95 pounds for like 5 sets of 10 and then passing out after the workout to deadlifting. At his peak, it was like 185 pounds for 10 sets of 10. Okay, in under 10 minutes. That's crazy. And he was like 60 years old, and he was like 185 pounds after I was done with him, and started at like 210. So he deadlifted his own body weight for 10 sets of 10 in under 10 minutes at 60 years old after only like 2 months of training with me, right? Anyway, that's crazy results. And he was ex-military, 60 years old, whatever. And he used to freaking survive in the wilderness as part of his training. And he loves eating rabbits and stuff. If he's watching, he'll laugh because he knows I'm talking about him. And so my big thing was just emphasizing that part of him that still wanted to be a savage, still wanted to be a killer, still wanted to be that same badass motherfucker he was back in the day in the military, right? So here's the thing. My protocol will work because I know it will work because of all the people I've helped and transformed. My protocol will work because I understand the science behind it. And I could recommend books that, for once, while I'm making videos, I don't have the book up here with me to pull out randomly and show y'all. Actually, yes, I do. It's right over here. Right? Books. This is the epitome. I always pull this one out. Right? This is the one you want. By the greatest gurus in the field. They conducted over 200 peer-reviewed studies together, intervention trials, experiments, all of that. I could be so scientifically accurate, I understand all that shit, but no one cares. No one's ever asked in my entire time of getting people results. Even when I work with doctors in the medical field and all that other stuff, I worked with nurses and doctors and medical students conducting cancer research and all sorts of stuff. And then when I would try to talk science with them, they would not care. They don't care. And that leads me to something else that people wonder why doctors don't care about nutrition and just act like it's not don't worry about it and it doesn't work and whatever. They usually, all that they care about is their practice of medicine, which is not the same thing as healing people by changing their diet and whatever else. And the average personal trainer, average medical doctor don't have time or care or energy to read into these things. But my experience training doctors and medical students and other things and nurses and stuff has been profound. Now, I'll tell you, nurses are the only ones, which is weird. Nurses, and I don't know if it's just because they were females and wanted to, they acted interested because maybe they liked me. I don't know, but like nurses for some reason tended to be the only ones who seemed to be remotely interested in science. But the vast majority do not. So this is why my stuff is going to be switched over to providing valuable information and swagger. Providing valuable information and tangible practical advice on health and nutrition science and herbs, but also life advice and self-improvement. And maybe I'll talk about dating and how to have a superhuman sex drive, since so many people keep asking me. In that last video I had to freaking put on private, had over 50,000 views in under 1 month. And then it went so viral in that short period of time that I had dudes threatening me with their incel communities and shit. Maybe I will make videos about that. Okay. Let me know if y'all want to hear about that. But in a way that is emphasizing less complex thoughts, less complexity, less deep dive into scientific details and stuff. I probably will still do that as I gain momentum. But I'll probably do more reaction videos to other people's videos. so I could laugh at them and then debunk them with science. That'll probably be more of the way I'll do it. It has to be entertaining, But the main thing is I want to add more swagger to my videos. It sounds funny, but I want to add more swagger to my shit. I want to add personality to my things, because something I've looked at in my videos is another thing I noticed, man. My videos, since I started YouTube, okay, I'm giving y'all raw information and stuff, and I have a little bit of personality into it, but my personality, so people who really know me, right? So I've had like girls. I had one girl who I was best friends with for years, for like over 10 years or something like that. No, we were friends for almost exactly 10 years, actually. And when we hang out and stuff like that, she'd tell me her life problems and stuff. She'd get the logical, serious Wolfgang persona. And then girls that I've dated long enough, they get the serious Wolfgang persona that you see in my videos. But generally speaking, my energy in my videos is not how a lot of people would, people would not know that I could provide this type of information, right? Because in general, I'm very enthusiastic. I got a lot of swagger in my existence, I guess, right? I keep using the word swagger, but I mean enthusiasm and charisma. I guess what a lot of these motherfuckers, these kids these days, they call it Riz, right? Just in general, it's charisma and enthusiasm for life, That is a big part of what actually gets people into information. So anyway, basically what I'm saying is I want to maybe, if I do even continue making videos, I might just take another long hiatus. I've been making videos about all these topics, and I'll be throwing some swagger and charisma on this motherfucking shit, and conveying it in a way that I have more fun with, in a way that's more badass, right? So you'll be getting the whole Wolfgang experience as much as I can put through these videos. So, and eventually I'll be doing vlogs and stuff, but probably for other platforms. Maybe I'll make another YouTube channel with vlogs specifically, right? So let me know in the comments section what y'all want to see from me. I have ideas for videos talking about anxiety, sexual performance, maybe a whole video on how to get a badass girlfriend. What else? Maybe a video talking about how to get your life together. That's like a big thing I want to do, actually. Because I'm in the process of completely redesigning major areas in my life right now. Not redesigning, but just I have everything I want in my, already kind of envisioned, but I'm in the process of building that all together, right? So constructing it. And my brain is saying probably by January I'll have it all kind of together. It's just right now is that process, a transition or whatever. It's like the in between. So let me know in the comments what y'all want to see from me, no matter what it is. Life advice, nutrition advice, anxiety, mental health, specific topics, and I'll talk to y'all next time, okay?